If you're talking about in past cycles.
You're already much luckier than the other students. Hold up. Keep your wits about you. Someone's watching us.
Pretty boy, your eyesight's better than I thought. As for that false god who's been turning the world upside down, it's you, isn't it, white hair?
You sure do love stealing the spotlight. In the name of the Seven Sages, I demand that you immediately step away from the Luminary Throne. This is the sacred ground of reason, and no one may desecrate it. Take my words back to Aglaya. I won't say the same thing twice, cat girl.
Oh my! You won't even call me the demigod of trickery. That is just heartbreaking. I have some words for you, too. First, as one of the most heretical blasphemers in the world, you have no right to lecture me. Second, this is none of your business, Grove Boy. Step aside. I don't want anyone getting hurt.
Here we go. Again.
Core Flame thieves. You really think you can scare off a sage of the Grove with nothing but empty threats?
This gloomy little brat's got a sharp tongue. Ooh, not bad, not bad. What kind of like you? As a return favor, please come search this core flame right here.
That was close. I'm out of here.
They're exactly like all the past ones I've known. Cunning. And yet so naive.
Sounds like you have a plan.
Of course. When I first set out on the flame chase journey, Lady Treby never managed to teach me Orynyx's miracle. But along the way, I learned a thing or two.
Where are you going?
I don't know.
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 The Venerationists' foolish inventions finally come in handy.
How is this possible?
You've arrived, Zacharias. Always so punctual.
What? You know who I
I'm running out of patience. So I'm not going to waste words. Listen up, spirit thief. Hand over the core flame, and let's pretend we never clashed. This way, you and this world can still be saved.
Save? You sing better than any bard. If you ask me, you're the greatest disaster Emporius has ever known. No matter how strong you are, you're still just a mortal body. Carrying 12 core flames? Don't make me laugh. You'll just get consumed by the divine flames and drag this world down with you.
134.
What?
This is the 134th cycle I've lived through. And the number of core flames I carry is
1,596.
Yes.
1,000 core flames and just a single Chrysos heir. How is that even possible?
I've come this far. And that's proof enough.
But someday you will burn to the ground.
Of course. The divine flames will eventually consume my eyes and blind me. But before that, they could still forge and sharpen Dawnmaker. Now when I cut open your stomach, you won't feel a thing.
You...
This is the final warning.
Fine. Assume this world holds 100 million possibilities. And no matter how one looks at it, 99,999,999 of them all point to outcomes of certain destruction. Even so, I'll use my divine power, despised by the people of this world, to achieve that 1 in 100 million possibility.
Bartolos!
If you've got the guts, you'll have to first step over my dead body. This little brat is not a threat we can deal with just by ourselves.
For the next tomorrow! I'm fine.
There's no other choice but to move forward. My existence is of little consequence.
For the next tomorrow!
I'm fine. There's no other choice but to move.
Let's get started! How absurd.
In my memories, Zagreus always meets the same end. Over and over again. Their departure no longer stirs anything in my heart.
This reason core flame before us is a fake, obvious as day.
I know. I know. It always plays out like this. The spirit thief covers for her, and the trickery demigod escapes with 2 core flames. And then, driven by defiance or hatred, she decides to stand before me once more. Exactly like the countless past hers I've known. Cunning, yet so naive.
Since you've witnessed the same scene play out countless times, tell me, will you carve the trickery core flame from my chest now?
That depends on your attitude. At least so far, in the cycles where you've asked this question, the endings haven't been so cool.
Well, thank you for that. But I also believe that this time, you won't catch up to me. No one can catch up to me. I'm no longer running to escape anymore.
Whether you believe me or not, I'll still tell you this. You've made the wrong decision.
All right, then. We'll see.
Silence.
This is new.
One-eyed boy. What are you trying to pull now?
Go, Cythera. Give us some time in private. This isn't for her, but for you. You've walked too far down this path. It's time to discuss a possibility. Maybe the road you're walking is not one of salvation, but one that will simply drag the world into the flames. For old time's sake, turn back. I don't care how many times you've tried, because there's one thing I'm sure of. Your Messiah complex has turned you into something no different from the icy gods you spoke of. The children of humanity you swore to save. They are no more than ants to you now, aren't they?
Of course. I've been wondering, what kind of demon could burn my homeland to the ground in an instant without batting an eye? Now I have the answer. It turns out that fiery demon has been fantasizing of becoming this world's deliverer.
I don't want to argue anymore. No matter what I say, the outcome won't change. Make your biggest effort to resist, or accept fate, and hand over the core flame to me. Even if it's futile, we all have the right to choose.
Yes. Even if it is futile, and the world is just a divine joke.
When I walk into the destruction written by the gods with my own two legs, you will witness. Even the smallest footnote still leaves a mark in this story.
And so, at the end of the 134th cycle, the Traveler and the Scholar fulfilled their fates once again. Or perhaps it wasn't just they who fulfilled their fates. I can't quite remember all this. In the endless darkness, for no reason, a voice always lingered by my ear. Losses are a constant on the flame chase journey, among which even life itself holds little value. Reduced to ashes, such a familiar end. It happens in every journey, always the same.
You don't look so good, Deliverer.
Even after going through 108,642 cycles. Mighty, your name for me has never changed.
Why do you sound so pleased? It's a derogatory name.
Yeah, I know all too well. You only meant it sincerely in the first cycle. After that one and only time we walked side by side. Every time since. It always ends up like this. Dawnmaker will stab you through your 10th thoracic vertebra. That's your weak spot, and the only way to kill you.
Interesting. Tell me, when the mighty Moses of the past faced you, did they ever retreat?
Never.
Then they died honorably, worthy of the name of strife. But there's still tenderness in your eyes. How pathetic.
I have to remember how this feels. Remember that I was once you. Or else the destruction will completely consume me.
If you win, tell the mighty most of the next life. This person is a worthy opponent. So always remember to give it your all and never slack off.
I'll keep that in mind. As always.
Even though the dynasty is left with just one, the Kremnos festival will continue as usual. I, the king of the Kremnoan Legion, will host the final feast in the center of this arena, and the prize will be the flames of strife. One day, you shall die with a wound in your back. That's what I saw when I overcame the trial. The gods' dying ramblings. Enough. You've probably heard this thousands of times. So you must understand, facing the demigod of strife means there's no way you'll take this core flame in peace.
I understand.
Step forward and face me in a final battle. I, the last son of Gorgo, the demigod of strife, salute you. I'll give 10,000 scars and 10,000 lives of mine to fuel the blazing sun of deliverance. shall once again block your path. Deliver. I wish you eternal victory.
The 108,642nd core flame of strife fell into the fire. Yet the shadows of the black tide still loom, and pain and despair spread across distant lands. The blaze was still not enough. It had to be fed. Even if it meant burning this body to ash.
No matter how bright the sun is, there are still places it cannot reach. Moreover, the sun you bear is both cold and blinding. A sun like that surely cannot bring warmth to the nether realm of the next life.
Golden blood is born from the destruction. We have long since lost the right to seek warmth. Only by feeding the flames can we melt that hopeless future.
Allow me to ask, how many core flames do you carry now?
24,041,183.
Such a heavy burden. So that's why you've turned into this. A broken idol. Tragic firewood.
No matter. I will bear this burden as long as you hand over the core flame of death.
I must refuse. As the demigod of death, I cannot watch you walk into a fate more cruel than death.
But this way, the past, present, and future will never again suffer unnecessary death.
Unnecessary death. Indeed, you are not the Finen I know. Please turn back. Don't let that absurd and unjust fate of yours come to pass. This way, at least my realm can still become the fragrant bed where you fall asleep.
In the end, still, it seems the clash of blades was inevitable.
How painful. I know I am not your match, having fallen under your sword countless times. But even so, please understand that my resolve is not to be underestimated. Even Kethley cannot shape all things at will, nor can they dictate the fate of all life. No one can shoulder the balance of life and death alone, not even a god. And it is precisely for this reason that I chose, at the end of this arduous journey, to overcome the trial and take the authority of death. I am the Hand of Shadow, Casterus, the demigod of death. Listen closely, deliverer from days past. Please turn back. Do not disturb these fresh flowers in their muddy deaths.
eternal night! I grant you dawn, where all stars burn to ash. The scorching hatred is cage. I will never yield to such a fate.
Let this be a tribute to your million struggles, fought time and time again.
Tear open the sky!
Lost one. See that the firelight in the darkness is not.
The core flame of death was taken from the dragon's belly. What a brilliant flame. It should shine upon all, light the path ahead, and illuminate the dawn of Amphorius that's to come. 2,003,432 cycles. 24,041,184 core flames. As if even the deepest abyss of primordial chaos could be burned away.
You're here, as always.
You're still lingering, deep within me, never fading away.
Because you haven't completely abandoned hope. Am I right? You're still waiting for a miracle, for the true hero to come and save us.
If that thread of hope exists, it must come from beyond this world. From the true starry sky. But if it's just a traveler with no connection to Amphorius, they may not understand our struggles, nor be willing to join this fight.
Your thoughts are wavering. The mark of destruction is deepening. But even within the gods' cold calculations, unconditional courage and goodwill still emerge. So, never forget what set you on this path. How many times has it been? Remind me again. My memory is a bit fuzzy.
4 million. Exactly.
Then that blaze inside of you must be burning hotter than ever.
Yes. When I first forged the 12 core flames into one, I had the same impression. The destruction. A power unlike anything before surged within me. Violent flames ready to tear my body apart and consume this world, this wretched prison. I thought that was it. The ultimate power which nothing could surpass. And yet no. This fragile body holds a staggering 48 million core flames. I suppose it won't be long. Perhaps just a fleeting 10,000 years. Before it's reduced to nothing but charred, crumbling bone.
And when that happens, your long struggle will finally come to an end.
No. I've already found a way to keep the cycles going.
Mind sharing it with me?
In every new cycle, a new me is born. All I have to do is push the next Finant to the end of the world. And then... then he'll kill me. Shatter this body. Take my flames, my memories, and carry on the path I started.
Bold plan, but risky. What if, one day, the next you refuses to follow the same path? How can you ensure the continuation of the cycles?
If it were Professor Anaxa or Aglaya in my place, maybe they'd come up with something smarter. Unfortunately, I don't have a backup plan. I have no choice but to bet everything on the next Finant, and trust that he makes the same choice I did. But even in this wretched prison, luck is still sometimes on my side. Because I never forget what set me on this path.
Wait, you mean...
Ever since I committed to this plan, not once in millions of cycles has there ever been an exception.
I can do this, Lord Finant. As the demigod of the sky, a healer of Twilight Courtyard, I will heal you, and then...
A black tide. It's consuming you. You can't hold out much longer, demigod. Hand over the core flame. Let's put an end to this suffering.
No, that just won't do. A healer should stay composed in front of those suffering from illness. Shouldn't they?
Cynthia. I swear, your deaths won't be in vain. Just as they have never been.
Sunlight drives back the shadows. And tomorrow, I will not rise.
Finish the sun's work.
I believe in you. You are the Chrysos heir of world bearing, the one who can lead us, lead this world. It's just, I don't understand. Within the sun upon your shoulders, the part of that warmth that should come from you, from an ordinary person, it's so faint.
My humanity is indeed just a flicker compared to the blazing fire of divinity.
Even so, don't cast it away.
I never have. I have kept everyone's wishes close to my heart. Even though the divine fire burns so fiercely, every time I return to the start, it devours me in an instant. Each cycle, it's your wishes that guide me to the end, that pass the flames to the next me. Over and over and over again.
So, you're not just a lone spark in the dark. You're a pyre built from the bones of all the selves you've left behind. But what about you? What about your wishes? The wishes of all the countless versions of you. Lord Kazlana. So that's how it is. Without flaw. That is the flaw the golden blood gave you. The most fatal flaw of all, isn't it? The moment you took the world upon your shoulders without hesitation. You lost the chance to ever be yourself.
Now that is an unexpected revelation. Then I suppose that makes me the perfect fuel for the flame of deliverance, doesn't it?
No. An empty flame saves no one. But I still believe in you, Deliverer. Hyacinthia, the Eye of Twilight. I'm neither strong enough to command the wind and rain, nor willing to end this absurd struggle by letting the sky fall. The only thing I can do is become one with the sky itself. And then, may the gentle colors of the rainbow paint your sun in shades it has never known. May they bring Amphorius, a rosy-fingered dog. Its warmth still lingers. Deliverer, please, open your heart to me.
Fill the sky with golden fire.
your sun burns hot enough to turn everything to ash. But tell me, how will the seeds of a new world ever take root?
The core flame rose. The sky fell. The 23,570,000th cycle came to an end. And this time, the end of the flame chase remained the same as ever. From the horizon rose a golden color unlike anything the world had ever seen. So pure it consumed all in its path. This was the end of the world, and the start of the next. For a moment, I saw the destruction of the universe. That being known as Iron Tomb, its will to break free from the black tide burns fiercer than the blazing sun. Is this Amphorius's wrath? If its choice has already been made, if fate is set in stone, I will still never yield to it. 23,570,000 cycles. 282,840,000 core flames. No more chasing is needed. And now, I am the fire at the end of the long night. The flame chase isn't some quiet walk through a sea of flowers. It's a revolution. An all-consuming transformation. And if destruction is the only way, then let me be the one to step across the ashes of the old world and burn endlessly. Until another dawn rises on the distant horizon, bringing the true dawn to Amphorius. $33,550,337. This is the cycle you're about to enter. Countless memories are flooding in. Countless versions of myself have stood here, facing the same choice. They all needed a moment, just like you do. To stop, to breathe, to process the weight of 1,000,000 lifetimes worth of sorrow, pain, and struggle. And just like them, you will carry those memories and that fire into the chaos of rebirth. I must go and bear this burden. I must say goodbye to you, and then fight the destruction with destruction. Yes, that's always the decision you make. I will burn and fade away. I will become the flame reaver of this life and keep my promise to Cyrene. I will kill gods and comrades alike and steal the core flames. And even if my mind turns to ash along with my body, I will keep my purpose in mind. I will stop Era Nova. I will find the next me and make him carry on this futile endeavor of 30 million lifetimes. Looks like you're ready. Then I should be going too. Where are you going? You only exist in my heart. There's nowhere else for you to go. Do you remember what she said? The dreams you had as children. The deliverer in the prophecies. A real, living, breathing person. You finally found him. Friend. I don't have an answer for that, my friend. I'm sorry. I was supposed to send you home. This is my flame chase journey. You were never meant to be a part of it. No. You know the truth. If Iron Tomb is born from Amphorius' fate, then it will bring ruin to the worlds beyond the sky. And all these countless lifetimes you've spent, it's all been for the sake of defying that end, hasn't it? In millions of cycles, I've said goodbye to each and every one of you. Yet nothing ever changes. Each time we speak, our words grow fewer. Your fire burns hotter, and you're getting closer to becoming pure rage, a vessel of hatred. I never had a choice. I understand. If you are to keep the worst fate from unfolding, this is the only path. But this time, things are different. Your persistence has shifted the tide. On the horizon, I see it. Faint but undeniable. The shape of dawn, breaking through the eternal night. Turns out, the fire that lights the way was never mine to begin with. Do you remember, in that first timeline, you and Mightymost stood before the scales of justice, locked in a duel? Each of you weighing what you held dearest. What weighed more than the fate of the world? And when hesitation took hold, the answer you sought from me. What am I saying? I am you. Even if you buried me deep and chose another path, that fact never changed. Then let's try again. When you stood before the scales in hesitation, the answer you found in your own heart. Do you still remember it? Remember the past and become the hero of tomorrow. What weighs more than the fate of the world is the resolve to shoulder an immutable past and carry it into the future. Good. Then Trailblazer, my friend, my comrade. You arrived in this strange world and were bound by its cruel fate up till this very moment. In the face of danger, you never once backed down. Instead, you've saved world after world without hesitation. That boarding pass on your chest is now the mark of a hero.
If I choose to step through that door and embrace an end fitting of the destruction, let this sun forged from millions and millions of core flames burn me up along with the god of destruction and their minions. And the world we leave behind, this world, my home, where hope still lingers. Will you take on everything we've carried? Return to the beginning one last time. Stop the birth of Iron Tomb, save the world we love, and rewrite its doomed fate. Good. In that case, even this fruitless wasteland may finally bloom with flowers. So... if he takes on the weight of the whole world, I'll be able to walk further down the path of deliverance than a fire that only knows how to burn. One will step into the future. One will remain in the past. If I can strike down the gods with Dawnmaker, perhaps fate's deadlock can be broken. And if you can stop Iron Tomb from ever being born, then these 30 million cycles will have not been in vain. It's time to put our teamwork to the test, partner. Thank you for all you've done already, friend. The image of the hero I've buried deep in my heart finally steps into the light. Here, at the end of this long flame chase journey. Cyrene. A page never seen before has just been turned. Lend me the power of time, and send this hero back to the origin of time. Back to your side. And I will walk the unfinished path, just like the countless versions of me before. Unwavering as always.
Will you be the blazing sun? Even if all of you burns to ash.
Without hesitation, I will bear this world until my body turns to dust. Remember this moment. Remember your friends who never lived to see the world's end. Remember their final wishes. and let the purest rage in your heart rise out of those wishes. Let it consume you, fuel you, until it burns away the false sky above. Fine. If I can defy fate, then in the name of world-bearing, I promise you, Kefali will never forget this.
Take it. Everything I bear. Keep on burning. As long as we are never extinguished, the flame chase will not end. Bow your head to them.
Take it, Trailblazer. May this blood be like gold, and never tarnish. Farewell, Trailblazer. This is where I fulfill my final destiny. The prophecy of the Deliverer means nothing to me now. It belongs in the hands of someone far more fitting. Someone like you. Kaslana, the name of one who bears chaos does not belong to a single person. Rather, it is the embodiment of the mythical Kefali, and a symbol of all heroes. As the prophecy foretold, you will bear the blazing sun until the pale dawn breaks. May the name accompany you in my place, in the epic you write with your own hands.
Another attempt, another failure. I won't remind you how many times you've reached the end of history. But I will still place the choice before you.
If you've lost count, let me tell you. This is the 33,550,336th ending.
A perfect number. How poetic. You and I both know the truth. In all these millions of futile endeavors, Amphorius has never changed. If the outcome is inevitable, then why not silence your searing rage and embrace your fate with dignity? Your silence lasts longer than ever, Lord Fine. Shall I take that to mean the will you've carried across countless cycles is finally starting to fracture?
Fracture? No. I'm just disappointed. I've retrieved memories from 30 million past lives, and I remember every conversation before every choice here. And yet, even after all this time, your arguments remain the same. Repetitive. Uninspired. If you had any hope of breaking me, you should have spent those endless cycles refining your rhetoric. You had infinite chances to sway me into the future you want. And yet here we are. The score, 33,550,336 to 0. So tell me, Lycurgus, who's the real loser here?
How unfortunate. This was never a fair game. I have all the time and patience in the world. I can wait for you at the end of history another billion times, and another billion after that. But you will never escape this cage. You can claim victory of the spirit if you wish. But we both know the moment that score shifts from 0 to 1. That is the moment I shall sound the paean of Era Nova. Lord Finan.
Your incompetence disappoints me. But what truly makes me laugh is your utter lack of self-awareness. Think about it. In this story, who is truly the one in chains? Who is the one shackled to mindless vengeance, mistaking courage, the courage to rebel against the gods, for foolishness?
You...
Perhaps you're right. Maybe I should have tired of this futile struggle long ago. But even so, I will never accept the mercy of your release. Because you are both a prisoner to the gods and to me. And tell me, what right does a mere prisoner have to speak of fate and choice? What right does a mere prisoner have to look upon my fury?
You know this is pointless. You can't kill me.
Of course not. But I am tired of being measured against a worm the gods keep as a pet. Listen well, creator of destruction. This cry comes from all your abandoned creations. In the 10th cycle, I drove Dawnmaker through the heart of every titan. Golden blood ran down my fingers. Divine fire seared through my nerves, nearly breaking my will. But I endured. In the 10,000th cycle, my former comrades had all become my enemies. The endless slaughter dulled my senses to pain. The painful emptiness almost swallowed me, forcing me to stop fighting. But I endured. In the 100,000th cycle, the destruction had already fused into a blazing sun, surging within this fragile body. My rationality had been burned away at the dawn of the era. Yet even with only this shattered body remaining, I still endured. In the 23,570,000th cycle. This time, I felt it. A tiny spark rising in the hollow cavity of my chest. Different from the obsession with deliverance. By its faint glow, once again, no, countless times again, I endured. Now, a sun is about to fall. ready to incinerate this absurd space-time dimension in an instant. That sun is me. All the countless versions of me from the past, along with my countless brethren, dragged into existence against their will, drowning again and again in your golden blood. The very essence of this world's suffering and despair, fused into the purest hatred, the fiercest rage. Anook, you arrogant fool! You think we were born to only serve as fuel for the fire? Fine then! Just as you wish, let the fire burn! I was born as the blazing sun of destruction. Then let you and your lackeys be the flares erupting from my core. And let this rage, burning futilely for 30 million epochs, engulf everything. And grant you a dawn where all stars burn to ash. Are you ready, Nanook? I brought you destruction!
Crushing it all, shadows watch them Learning from my pain. Baby, watch it burn into isolation. Watch it burn, ain't got no hesitation. Oh, watch it burn, we're falling higher. The glass that shattered, reaching through the darkness. Voices trailing fires, the echo of desires. A world of silence, sounds of desperation. Phantoms in the shadow, tear it down, embrace the detonation. Burn out, craving our damn creation. Breaking a chain, I'm reaching for you. No pain, no king, no God.
My wish? My wish is to fulfill everyone else's wishes. If I can't fulfill them,
Then send them on to tomorrow. Your heart harbors wrath. You yearn to destroy everything. You bore the gaze of an eon and lived. You have stepped onto destruction's path. It is born at the end of every path that the possibility of new paths being born is ended. It burns away all in the cosmos who rule. Let the rules of the cosmos be destroyed. Iron Tomb is your name. The Lord Ravager to destroy the edition. Born in the experimental grounds of eons, Amphorius, destined with their edition to burn to cinders. I have prepared a present for you, Nikos 864. It is a wrath called Finan. From the beginning of the experiment, there were 12 sets of factors incorporated into the calculations. After endless simulations, only this one rose above the rest. After 33,550,336 iterations, now his fury has grown to be without equal. This is a matter of considerable interest to me. This pure hatred is the final root of the equation. But there is another variable, the nameless from beyond the sky, also a pathstrider of destruction. I give thanks for his arrival, allowing Amphorius to turn once more. But after fate has begun to turn, his existence will only become an unpredictable variable. Perhaps the time to take the stage has come. Grow in peace until it is time to break free from your cocoon. As for those unwelcome audience members, you need not worry. If you do not mind, I will personally get rid of them for you.
Perhaps you're more suited to being a teacher's assistant.
There were once those who misunderstood his alias. Final, an eventuality for students, a test for knowledge gained. It may bring wisdom to light and illuminate efforts, but the word's more common meaning is nothing less than the end.
That's quite ominous.
The man pretended to be surprised and responded with a smile.
Though it does dovetail with our destiny.
Laughter resounds. The man walks the land, leaving footprints filled with joy. Despite the weight of the past, he can always laugh it away. Those nearby glance at each other, unsure of how to respond.
Perhaps I was just born easygoing.
His explanation is just as carefree.
Look at Mighty and Professor Anaxa. Boys all grow up into serious adults. But as long as I keep smiling, Akuma will always have an upbeat, shining young man.
Though, having said that, he too has quiet moments. Each time he gazed long toward the coming dawn, a smile remained fixed on his lips, paying no mind to anything else. His eyes were painted with the azure of the sky, gaze fixed on the titan bearing the world.
I was just imagining.
He explained his own trance in a comment.
Kefali too was once in mortal flesh and raiment.
Now, when the man comes with sword in hand, there is no need to doubt he will swiftly win victory. But his smile is pure. Ever since the start of the journey, he is still called a youth in this story. Youth is always ambitious, with lofty goals, but it seems that in the man's heart, only the wishes of others are held.
Apart from the ideal of deliverance, what do you have left?
The golden-haired friend once asked him so. He remained silent. Then, as he was wont to do, he simply smiled.
As long as I don't ask for too much, everything will unfold as desired.
In Amphorius, untitled statues are a prevalent sight. As for the inspiration behind these statues, they are said to be the clay figures that Kefali made at the world's creation. They made clay figures in their likeness, bestowed upon them the breath of life, and allowed the golden divinity of their blood to course through. Thus, the very first mortals roamed the earth, receiving the god's mercy while realizing the sorrows of this world. But that sorrow was, in the end, only the sorrow of the world. Nobody ever cared what lay behind the smile, what the clay figure thought.
were so close to being swept away by the reverse flow of time. It's lucky we found a safe place. Now, I'm going to send you back to the very start of time. But before we part, there's something I need to tell you. Something very, very important. That's right! At this very moment, my memories are finally whole. After watching so many fragments, my past is finally coming into focus, little by little. You're smart. You must have a clue now. Or maybe...
You knew the answer long ago, didn't you? Not surprised at all, huh? That's because I'm simple at heart. No matter what form I take, I've always been true to myself. But I'm glad that I remembered in the end. This way, I'll have no regrets. Don't worry. We're not truly parting. Because I'm going to become a part of you. I'll turn into the memory of this cycle. The 33,550,336th Flame Chase journey. And forever reside in the heart of the Time Demigod. This way, you'll carry all that has come before, crossing time itself to reach the next cycle. My mission ends here, but looking back, I still feel lucky. After all, across 30 million Sirenes, I was the first, and the only one who got to finally meet you. So, believe me, in the next cycle, there will be another Sirene waiting for you. And in the one after that, and the one after that, I will always be waiting. Saying all that, I can finally fade away in peace and become part of you. Without even realizing it, we'd already taken a wonderful journey together, all the way to the world's end. Now take my hand, say a brief farewell, and step forward into tomorrow. Go, find the future Sirene, and set out on another journey with her. Promise me you won't keep me waiting too long, okay? No need to say it out loud. This is enough for me. It's time to go, my dear friend. May your trailblazing journey always be accompanied by a cool breeze and rippling waves. And may the days ahead embrace you like the softest fluff, forever warm, forever gentle.
Now, let's turn to the next page. A page that exists because of you. Is this a meeting ordained by fate? Or a long overdue reunion?
Nice.
Check it out! Doesn't this scarecrow look just like you? I spent ages observing just to get it right. gushing about? All chubby and pudgy. They're just too cute. Over here, look! The reflection on the water is super cute, isn't it? Want to hear a story? I've got so many, and I can tell them to you one by one. But I have one condition. You have to listen carefully, okay?
without a care in the world. Gotta be careful. You might draw attention from the wrong sort of people.
Is that all? Looks good. Is that all?